Hello, we're back with a slight hiatus, but we're back. Isn't that awesome? Sorry about the gap, but obviously most of you guys probably already know, but I proposed to Annabelle on her birthday, 15th of February, and it went well. We're now engaged. That's really cool. Yeah. No, it's weird. I don't know what to say, but yeah. I mean, I already knew that she was going to say yes anyway because she would not shut the fuck up about it, which is always fun. Always great. At least I knew that she wanted it, which is good. But yeah, it's been a good couple weeks. Sorry about the gap. After proposing, and we had a little surprise party on the Sunday with some friends, just like a birthday surprise. And after that, I was just shattered. I couldn't do anything. It was just about enough getting into work and being awake. So I needed a little bit of extra time, just me being quiet and not focusing and staying up super late trying to sort stuff out. And I think it's positive. I've been feeling quite good today. It's been nice. Got all my chores done, which is always fun. I keep saying it's always fun now. Yeah, I got all my chores done and the house is looking a lot tidier. I even put the washing on for the laundry and I put it out on the line because we had a gorgeous morning. Really sunny, really nice, and really windy as well. So it gets all the moisture out of the clothes. And then took Bruce on a walk. We did some off-lead training. So we've got this big, like 25-meter long line that we hook up because the second he decides it's home time, he will start running back home, which means crossing a road that people go 40 down when they should be going like 30, 20. And so he's on a big, nice long line that we can grab if we need to. But he's been doing really well. He is really cheeky when he knows that we're heading towards home. So I was doing a lot of training of like calling him back when he was running ahead because he was sort of anticipating that we were going home, which really helps. It really gets his brain sort of out of that, what's the word, like fixation on going home. He's a lot more focused with listening out for my commands, and because he knows he's going to get a treat if he does it. So sometimes you can really see the cogs whirring, especially at the end when he really wants to go home. It's like he's trying to work out the value of, I could lie on the sofa all day or get hit by a car, or I could get given a treat for this. And you can really see him standing still and just going, okay, treat. Because it's like his brain just kind of goes, well, I know I'm going to sleep on the sofa after this, so I'll have the treat now. But it can be a bit annoying sometimes when he takes a bit too long. So you just have to you do the command. If he doesn't respond instantly, you wait a couple seconds, repeat the command, and then after a couple, he'll tend to get the picture and just make his way back to you. Sit, get the treat, start running back, repeat all over again. But yeah, so we did that today and we got back, and just as we got back, I checked the washing and like half of it had dried and the other half still needed a little bit of time. But as I was coming back in with the dry stuff, I could feel a couple drops of rain. So I was like, right, okay, let's get this stuff in. I'll just put it on the radiators ready for when the heating kicks up, which is now I can hear the boiler boiling now. So everything's going to start getting properly dry in a sec. And literally just as I came upstairs, it started pissing it down with rain, like heavy, even though it was like it's really sunny and it just started pouring down. So it's a good thing I got it in when I did, otherwise I would not be a very happy bunny, and I potentially could have postponed recording this yet again. But yeah, no, I think it's been a positive week. It's been a lot. It's been very exhausting and tiring, but not in a bad way. Just by the end of the day, I could barely move. And it wasn't even like physically exhausting. It was just brain and mentally exhausting. Just, yeah, it was like just being able to make it through the day without trying to drive into the trees on the way home. Didn't help yesterday that my car's, so I will say it's a Ford. The like interface for the Bluetooth on it just refused. As I was at the end of my long work day, I was about to head home perfectly on time, and I pressed play, and instead of it coming out of my car speakers, it comes out of my phone speakers, even though it says Bluetooth connected to Gabe's iPhone. What am I saying? Gabe's phone. And yeah, so then I spent the next 20 minutes trying to master reset everything to try and get it to work, and it just didn't. Don't know if it's ever going to work again. Some people were saying you have to like pull the fuse out and put it back in 30 seconds later, or like 30 minutes later, and then it'll just start working again, which pisses me off. I was saying this to Annabelle last night. I hate off and on again rules. I hate them. Why does it work? Why does it always work if you just turn something off, wait a little bit, and then turn it on again? Why can't it just shut off and then, I don't know, just work? Like, why does it even need to shut off? It pisses me off. It pisses me off. I don't think it's fair that I have to just turn it off and on again and then hope that it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you turn it off and then it never turns back on again. Love that. So, yeah, I was crashing out hard before leaving work yesterday. And I decided, fuck this, I'm driving in silence the whole way home, which was not fun. I know that Markiplier does it everywhere. It's not my vibe. I hate it. It's not even like I just like singing along to the songs. Most of them I don't really know. I tend to just use my day list. But it's just nice having something playing, even quietly, while I focus on the road ahead of me and cars around me that are being fucking idiots, instead of just having to hyper focus on every single poor decision that every car makes with nothing to brighten my mood. It's the worst. It is the worst. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Someone on one of the forums for this Ford said that they left it a day and then it was working again. So I'm really hoping that this evening that's what fucking happens, because I'm not prepared to do this all over again. I'm going to look up the user manual in a couple days maybe and pull it out, plug it back in. And if that doesn't work, I'm going back to the fucking dealership and they can fix it for me, because it's got a warranty. So maybe I should just do that straight away. But I hate talking to people. So I'm probably going to see if I can do it myself and then break it and then break warranty and then never be able to get it back. So that's fun. That's really, really fun. God, I hate cars. I hate cars. I hate a lot of things, and I hate cars especially. They are the worst. Sorry, I needed to get that out. I needed the rant. I needed the crash out. I'm glad I made it through without hitting my head against the mic. What else have I been doing this week, or the last 2 weeks? Not much. As a little engagement present to myself, I ordered a Prismatic Evolutions pack on eBay, because it wasn't too much more than retail price, so I wasn't too bothered. The guy that was selling it was like 2,500 sales, 100% positive feedback, no weird shady things in the description of like, I will list your orders if you put a negative review. I saw a couple of those. That was fucking weird. And so I decided to bite the bullet. I ordered this thing, and the guy sent it out on Monday, and it was going to be Royal Mail 24-hour tracked. And to this guy's credit, he kept me as updated as he could. He was really on it with sending it out and sending me the tracking number and stuff like this. Royal Mail, get your shit together. I've been ranting about this to Sam and to Annabelle. Get your shit together, Royal Mail. Otherwise, you will fall behind, because what the fuck? I got the app. I put in the tracking number. I tried to set up a safe place. You can't even say to put it behind a bin or anything like that, or under a box, because it's like, it's against policy. So instead what they'll do is, like flies to a glass window, they will smack their heads against your door until they finally go, nah, you can come to us. Fucking hell. Instead of just like giving me the option, or even just letting me read, there's like an option to request a redelivery to like another address, or on a certain day, which I did after the first attempt. I tried to reschedule the delivery to come today, and instead what they do is, so the first delivery was on Tuesday. I then reschedule the delivery once it fails, because for some reason you can't before then, even though you know that you're not going to be in. I don't understand why that's the fucking case. And so instead what they do is they confirm that they've received my redelivery request. They accept that, and then on Wednesday they try and redeliver it again. Fortunately, on a Thursday, my post office is open in the evening. Otherwise, normally it's just between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. 2 hours each day. 2 hours that you can find in your, really, really free schedule that you can make it to the fucking office. Fortunately, on the Thursday, it's between 4 and 6. I finish work at 5. I don't know how, but I managed to get there within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and make it there before the collection window shuts, which is half an hour before closing, which is 5:30. I managed to get there at 25 past 5. Luckily enough, the lady behind the counter is an absolute gem. She's the best. She finds it. You know what turns out happening? The delivery driver, I don't know if it was for both or for the first one or the second one, but they tried to deliver it to the house next door and noted down that that's the house that it was for, even though on the parcel it says our actual address. Just says it correctly with the right number and everything. They decide to go next door. Why? That's not even an option on the thing to have them go to a neighbor for you. So why the fuck would they? Why the fuck did the person do that? There's been another time where another idiot has posted all of the mail, all of the private and confidential mail for a different house on our street that they walked past seconds later. They just posted it into our address. Luckily, I was in and Bruce didn't get to it first because he would have shredded that. And I just had to walk it up to this neighbor, which is like multiple houses away. Let me just say this. We're in the 50s. This person was in the 40s for the house number. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God. It pisses me off when people just can't read numbers correctly. I understand that they're busy, but like, that's basic maths. Not even basic legibility. You look at the numbers and go, oh, that looks the same. Oh, it makes me mad. It makes me mad. So yeah. So I get the parcel. I've got my Pokemon ETB. I'm really happy about it. I get home, I don't even wait to get home to double check that it's, all okay. It's still sealed, everything like that. I literally get back to the car. I tear it apart, look in, go, yeah, okay. I don't need to crash out any further than I already fucking have this week. And so when I get home, I get nice relaxed. Me and Annabelle have dinner. I put a YouTube video on. I even start recording me opening the packs just in case I get anything really cool. I think it would be really fun to start doing that with packs that I do open because I'm not very smart. And I think if I was to record these and post them in here maybe as like a little side video between the game or like on top of the game, then anyone who's interested can see how shit I am at opening packs, and they can also see what else I got instead of just the hits or what I think are hits. It gives you guys the opportunity to actually see what I get. And so, I take about 10 minutes to open these 9 packs, just slowly, just looking through them and everything like that. I get 3 Pokeball foils, no Master Balls, no Full Arts, a couple EXs. I got a Lugia EX. I thought that was fun. That was cool. The art for that one was cool. I got a second Wellspring Mask Ogapon, which I do already have one, so I guess it's kind of fun to have dupes that I can maybe trade at some point, but I don't know, the EXs don't really get exciting for me. I don't know why. I just, give me more Full Arts. Give me more Full Arts. I don't care if they look bad. I don't care if they don't sell well. I just like looking at the pretty pictures. I have been trying to set up there's like a combined art for a lot of the previous packs. So I've gotten because I did like a massive review of all the Pokemon cards that I've got. And I had I think I'm missing 3 of them, of the 9. I'm pretty sure it's 3 that I'm missing that I just need. And then ideally I want them all reverse holo or at least holo. But some of them are just standard non-holo right now. But I'll try and remember to put a picture up here because I think it does look cool. It looks really nice. But yeah, I mean, hey, it would look even nicer if they all had Master Balls, but you can't do that because Prismatic Evolution is the first English Master Ball set anyway, so that won't happen. But I think it would be fun to post some of that because it's not just the Full Arts that I like. I do really enjoy looking at the other stuff. So I think right now I've done a massive review of all of the cards that I've got and checked which ones were crocheted Pokemon. because I know that Natty really likes those, so I'm trying to see which ones I got of those. So I think so far it's just a Sandygast and a what are they called? C Dot. Sandygast and C Dot. Those are the only two that I've got right now, but I am going to be keeping a really close eye on anything else that I get that's crocheted, because to be fair, they do look fucking adorable. I do also have one of the clay ones of Minchino, which looked really cute as well. So I've got that in the nice big binder that I have now, as well as some of the One Piece cards. I noticed as well, I was reviewing some of those. I've got a super rare, I can't remember exactly which one it was now, but I do have a super rare card, which I thought was very fun, because most of the other ones are just rares that like have the full art stuff. I think my Capone Beige one is a alt art, but I don't know whether it's good or not. It doesn't look like a very cool alt art. It's just him sitting on a bench. But like when I looked at some of the other cards with the same like number and stuff for him, there was a different one that looked a lot more standard than the one that I've got. So I'll put that in here as well, because maybe you guys might have a better idea of whether it's cool or not. I don't really know. I was trying to look into how to buy Japanese packs, because one, just they're cheaper. They're so much cheaper. I was looking at so the new pack that's coming to like English version for Pokemon is Journey Together, I think is what it's called, or like Battle Partners, I think. Whichever one is Japanese and English. Again, I will try and remember to put that in post. But essentially, the English version of this for a big booster box, so that's 24 card packs, I think. 24 card packs. You get 10 cards in each one. There's a lot of bloat. And that costs £150. For the Japanese version, you get 30 packs, I'm pretty sure. Or I think I might be getting mixed up with the One Piece packs and the Pokemon packs. I think with the Pokemon ones, it's 30. I'm going to have to double check. I've got them open on my phone because I keep staring at them and trying to decide whether to bite the bullet or not. I'm holding off for now because they cost a lot. Like, regardless, they cost a lot. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, with the Japanese booster box for Battle Partners, it's the Japanese one, it's £85 for 30 packs, each with 5 cards in it. So I don't know, it just feels like it makes more sense to me. Because all I want is the pretty pictures. I'm not bothered about whether it looks like resellable or not. I just want pretty pictures that maybe I can get graded and keep in my room to myself and show off to my friends and on here, because my ideal thinking is this room is still fairly bare bones. It's got a sofa in it and my desk. I want shelves behind me, and I think it would look really fun to have some of the stuff that I get from packs or that friends give me and stuff like that. I want to have them on a shelf and show them off, because I really like having material goods. But yeah, so then the Japanese, I was looking, is you can get a Japanese Romance Dawn booster box, which is the first One Piece TCG pack, and that's £100. I think that's mainly because a lot of the really valuable cards comes from Romance Dawn booster box, which, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It's the one that they're probably not going to be selling as often these days and like making as many these days, because they've moved on to like 10 now, I think. And so I was thinking about that, because I know I just said I don't really care about reselling them, but if it has really rare cards in it, again, I'd really love to get them graded, potentially sell something if I'm not too holding on to it, and then that can maybe potentially help pay for the rest of my addiction. And then also they've got the Royal Bloodline, which is OP10, which is the newest one in Japanese that I don't think has been printed in English yet. And that is £40 for 24 booster packs, each containing 6 cards. And again, I don't know, it feels like that makes more sense to me. In my head, that makes more sense to me, especially the fact that scalpers are targeting English packs because they know they can resell them for like shitloads of money. I'm not bothered about whether I can sell it or not. Like, that's a secondary thing to me. I just like opening the packs and reading, not even reading, because it's going to be in Japanese. I like looking at the pictures. I like looking at pictures. I don't know what else there is to that. But yeah, so that's the gist of that. It's probably a massive rant of nothingness to a lot of people. But if you have any thoughts, I would much appreciate them, because I don't know. I just think it's fun to open packs. I think that's all I really care about. And I think if I can do it for cheaper, then obviously I'm going to do that. I think I looked at like how much that is per pack. And I think the difference between the English ones and the Japanese ones is like 30p per card, which obviously then adds up and stuff like that. So I don't think it's 30p. I think 30p per pack is what I mean. And I don't know. Yeah, I think it just makes sense. Just makes sense to me. But yeah, other than opening packs, which I feel like is a big hobby of mine now, I also have just been thinking about potentially trying to make some sort of video essay, but I know that I'm not gonna see it through to the end anyway, so I don't know if there's much point. I don't know. A lot of these things strike me while I'm at work, busy doing something, and then I can't write it down because I'm busy doing something. But the gist of what I was thinking was the difference in. There's some weird car noises happening outside. I don't think it's being picked up, but yeah. What was I saying about video essays? Yeah, it struck me that I find myself not really wanting to play as many games as I think I used to. I think when I look at my Steam library, I mean, there's a lot of games that I buy on sale because they're stupid cheap, and then I never play them. But I think for the majority of those, they're independently developed games, or at least by smaller developers, instead of the AAA shit that you see going to console and being exclusive forever and being pushed out without getting full bug checks and stuff like that, and just rushed pieces of garbage that eventually become really good and become cult classics to a lot of people. But for me, the appeal for that isn't really there. I more enjoy a really cheap game that a developer has just put their heart and soul into, and it's not so much the reasoning is because it's cheap. It's just that they know that it's not going to be the most polished thing. You can understand that it's not going to be the most polished thing, but you can tell the love that goes into it with really frequent patch updates and stuff like that. Like web phishing, £4 like 20 or something like that for what's essentially an Animal Crossing's chat room. And you can just see how well that was received and how well loved it was by the developer, who is I'm pretty sure probably still doing little updates just to make sure that it's still running and stable and not being abused by the wrong people. And I don't know, there's just a lot of games recently that I've been finding on my discovery queue or just through Twitter or just in not the places you would normally expect to be advertised for a game, even just word of mouth, with these tiny little games that, again, the developers have put a lot of love into, and maybe it's just like a one developer thing or like a little team that are just really trying their hand at something and just proving that they can do something a lot of the time. And I don't really know exactly what I'm trying to say, but for a video, I just thought it would be nice to talk about the differences between how a lot of people view video games and how I think maybe I view video games, and sort of point out, like, there's no credentials behind any of this. I'm not a qualified game journalist. I'm not a developer. I can barely fucking read code. But I just think it would be nice to sort of try and highlight the fact that, I know that a lot of people are saying, video games are a dying genre of media. There's a lot of people saying, go woke, go broke, sort of shitty motto. But, a lot of the whole point of the industry is that people are talking with their money. They are showing what what society wants out of a video game by paying for a video game. Just plain and simple, if the majority didn't want pronouns in a game, then the massive studios wouldn't be putting those in the games, but the majority do, and these weirdos are feeling marginalized by this for correct grammar, and then they're the really loud minority of people that are going, oh, where's the masculine games? I was listening to the Sad Boys episode that literally came out last night, and it was just infuriating listening to what they were like talking about, because like they were reacting to this guy who was just like, what happened to masculine games? We need chicks with big boobs and and all that, and listing games that were most likely developed with women in the like massive amalgamation of a team. Talking about Ubisoft, talking about Rockstar Games and stuff like this, and being like, oh, they're full they're full male teams and stuff like that. And it's just infuriating to hear someone be that wrong about something. And just, I don't know, the way he talked about the fact, games are a dying art. If studios want us to buy games, then they need to stop putting pronouns and, give us masculine men and hot women again. When that's really not the case. A lot of people, even the people that are saying that, are still buying games. They're still buying the games that they're complaining about. They're paying, they're potentially even pre-ordering these games for a lot, for the full price, just so that they can get some weird little custom cosmetic that you buy with the pre-order. I mean, don't even get me started on pre-orders. I hate the idea of pre-ordering a game that's digital now. The whole reason that we had pre-orders was because you would, buy the physical copy as a disc, and the only reason they had pre-orders for that is because they had to know how to gauge the market for what they were going to be selling. It's why Game or GameStop in the US had like embargoes, and you would pre-order, and then you'd wait at the store and pick it up on the day, or it would get delivered to you by the store or by Amazon. Why are we pre-ordering Steam downloads? Why are we pre-ordering just software at this point? It's not even a disc for the software. It's just downloading from, like, installing. It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. I think that is such a sign of the end. not the end, but like it's such an obvious effect of greed that these studios are looking at how much they've made from pre-orders and going, oh, awesome, we'll get it out at this day because so many people are waiting on this specific day to play this specific game because they paid us full price for a little bit of extra stuff. We need to make sure that it comes out on this day or else. And so we will post it on this day, regardless of the state of the game, regardless of, just having enough servers to support that if it's a multiplayer game. It's why I've been really enjoying these indie games that are like £5 max, that are either single player or just little, servers that you can just enjoy playing games with friends, with strangers. I'm really bad at talking to strangers, but web fishing was a massive help for me, just getting not even out of my comfort zone, just talking to people, because I'm not good at that. And yeah, I think it was just a really positive help for me to have that space that I can just talk and yap and just not even acknowledge people sometimes, just sit and fish. But they can talk to you, or you can do the same back to them, and they'll ignore you. It's like, and there's no stakes to it because of how simple the gameplay is and how relaxing the music is, and just everyone's there for the same thing at the end of the day. If that game had came out during lockdown, it would have skyrocketed. I know how popular it already is, but if that had came out, think of if that had come out at the exact same time that Animal Crossing New Horizons had, I think the developer would have been swimming in money. They just would have, because it would have hit Twitch even harder. It would have hit marginalized people that are feeling isolated. and the price of it, and the fact that, you know, if you really wanted to, you could pirate it, and even that, and talking about the game would have given many other people the opportunity to know about the game, and it would have spread like wildfire. And I just think that game really captured something in a lot of people's minds that played it. The second I started playing it, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be big. And like, I was a couple of days late to it as well. But it again, that just got thrown at me from my discovery queue, and then I sank hours and hours and hours into it, just trying to catch fish and yap and find stupid places to be and unlock everything, and, you know, scratch a shitload of bingo cards. It just, not even bingo cards, what am I saying? Scratch offs. It just feels like that's being ignored with these people that are saying that video games are dying, that studios are hemorrhaging money, that, you know, I understand that like these layoffs have been catastrophic to the industry, and there's no saving what's happening there. But that is, again, that is a direct cause of these massive companies thinking that they know how people are going to behave with video games, and they know how the market's going to behave with these games. They just can't predict how a game's going to be received in the long run. They just can't understand what makes a cultural gem. And I think that's what these indie small teams that are running on a much lower budget, that are, you know, happy with you know, as long as the release is positive, that's what they're most concerned with. And they are showing a clear love of the game for years on end, you know, still doing updates. You know, when you look at Rivals of Ether 2, they have been so consistent with their support, with updates to, you know, balance stuff as well. I'm not even that keyed into it. I mean, I backed the Kickstarter and I barely play it because I'm bad at it, but I'm still so happy to see that these guys have done such an amazing job of making sure that their game stays popular and just, you know, and continues reaching out to more people that might be interested in it. And I think, you know, there's other things of that game that I would really prefer, but again, that's like a personal thing. I think, you know, it's an issue with having a certain amount of players. You can only balance the game so much before you start running out of people being on at the same time, being on the same servers at the right time. You know, there's only so much skill-based matchmaking that can go into a game with a certain player base as a consistent level. Obviously, with Valorant, that's going to be different because there's, you know, loads of people playing it. Same with League of Legends. But with these smaller multiplayer, you know, platform fighters, that's going to be harder just because there's going to be less people playing at the same time. So that's the only issue that I have with it, is that I'm too bad to play against the people that are on at the same time as me because they're so much better. That's the only reason I don't really play that much. But it is still fun when, you know, I eventually do even just hit a combo. I don't even have to win the game. As long as I take a stock from this person who's really good, that's like my personal win in a game. And I think this has been such a ramble. This is going to be such a long one. I know I said this is going to be a long video, but this is going to be a long video. I wrote down like points on a little notepad page on my computer to yap about in this, because I don't always remember to do something like that, but I like to have these little prompts for me to look back to just say, make sure that I'm hitting points that I actually wanted to talk about. I'm a very massive brain fog person. I do not remember things that I've thought about. And so it's really helped to just write down little sentences of stuff that I'd want to, again, just hit as talking points. But yeah. Aside from that yapping about, what was that? That was literally just me talking about a video that I want to make. I like video games. I'm not a game. I wouldn't call myself a gamer. I think some people might. I think, you know, someone like Annabelle looking in from the outside would call me a gamer. But in reality, there's not a lot of time in my week or in my month that I'm actually playing video games like consistently. It's rare that I really sink in a lot of hours these days to one game, if I even play a game. Like a lot of the stuff that I've been playing recently has kind of just been for background content for this. Like that's all it's really been, just because it's there's not enough time in my week for me to just sit and enjoy a game quietly these days. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm very bad at prioritizing my time, and I quite like having a not even a job to do, but I like having a reason to do something. I like having a reason to play a video game because I know that I'm going to record it, and I know that it's just going to be a nice chill background for these sort of videos, because I'm making myself do this because I know that it's going to help me in the long run. I don't care if they pop off. I don't care if they don't pop off. I as a personal journey for myself, I would really like to see this through, and I really want to try and make sure I see it through, because I'm looking forward to the end of this year and looking back and just seeing the progress I've made, even in this shorter time. The changes I've made for my audio setup, for how I'm editing these videos, I'm already kind of happy about that, just as a whole. And you know, I don't know if anyone else has been noticing, but I've been trying to do like little tracking things throughout an episode, so just like little ones every now and then, as like something for if people are watching, they can see that and find it funny. Like in one of the Ballionaires videos, had a, you know, as I'm going vroom, then a car shows up on the screen and then drives off, that sort of shit. And I don't know, I like practicing things. I've still not reopened Blender since doing the donut. I will at some point continue that, but that's on the back burner for now. But yeah, it's still installed on the computer. That's at least, you know, a positive for me. I haven't uninstalled it yet, but I will get back to that at some point. But I think right now I'm prioritizing editing these videos, recording these videos, you know, fixing the audio up after I finish recording it, cleaning it, that sort of stuff. And at some point I will try my hand at Blender and, I don't know, eventually practice those animations that I was yapping about before. But in the meantime, you're stuck with this for the next year, or I guess now what? The next 10 months-ish. But yeah, I think I am going to call it here. I'm not entirely sure how long this one's going to be. It's going to be longer than the usual, because I mean, I'm already looking at this and the time is saying 42 minutes. So so it probably won't be that by the end of this, but I just wanted to say thank you for watching these. Thank you for listening to them if they're on in the background. You know, I don't really mind if you've literally put this on and left the room because you know, you feel bad for me and you just want to give me a view but not bother about listening to it. That's fine. Like I really wouldn't mind that. I don't mind if you even just like throw it on for 10 seconds and go, oh, he's British, goodbye. I really appreciate it. I think what I was sort of thinking to myself as well with videos and talking about the idea of that video game one was, I think whenever I do have video ideas, I tend to shut them down myself before even bothering. I think when I think about them, I kind of just think in my head, would I watch that video? And if the answer is no, then I just kind of cut it off there, because what's the point? If even I won't enjoy the video, who else is going to enjoy it if I don't think I would watch that if it showed up in my feed? I just kind of, not that I think of it like that, but like, I think it helps me sort of gauge whether it's worth making myself do it or not. But I really appreciate anyone who has, you know, kind of been validating my journey so far with making it possible to do this. You know, I'm in a very lucky position where I even have time to do this, and I just wanted to say thank you, because yeah, I think compared to a lot of people in this day and age, I am extremely fortunate, and I don't want to forget that, because I think sometimes, you know, when you feel victimized, I think it's very easy to just say that everything's the worst, you know, I'm doing terrible and stuff like that, and I just think I am doing quite well for myself. And that doesn't mean really famous, that doesn't mean 1 million subscribers, that just means that I'm quite happy, and I hope that you're happy, because yeah because yeah, I don't know, it's just fulfillment. I think it's hard to properly put that into perspective sometimes for some people, and I think as a general rule I try and just, like I say, I just check myself and just go, you're blowing this out of proportion. I'm very bad at keeping things contained. I'm very bad at I will often make things out to be worse than they really are, and that's something that I think I'm always going to do. But it helps that I can sort of check myself and sort of put a damper on that, so to speak, because it needs to be every now and then. But yeah, sorry, I'm yapping and yapping and yapping. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for not watching or listening. I will see you next week. Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye. Don't. I was about to say don't remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.